The rise and impact of female characters in science fiction. Introduction. Science fiction has always been a genre that pushes boundaries, exploring new worlds, imagining future technologies, and asking big questions about what it means to be human. But one of the most exciting shifts we're seeing today isn't just about space or robots. It's about the characters who drive these stories, especially the rise of powerful, complex female leads. These women are reshaping the genre and challenging how we think about heroism, gender, and equality. Section 1. The evolution of female characters in science fiction. For a long time, female characters in sci-fi were often sidelined. They were usually cast as the love interest, the sidekick, or the one who needed rescuing. Think back to the early days of the genre. Characters like Princess Leia in Star Wars were groundbreaking, yes, but they were still somewhat confined by the male-driven narratives around them. But things began to change. In the late 20th century, we saw the emergence of characters who broke free from these old constraints. Sarah Connor from Terminator 2 and Ellen Ripley from Alien didn't just survive. They led, they fought, and they were heroes in their own right. These women were complex, they had flaws, they faced real challenges, and they showed that strength comes in many forms. Section 2. The good, the bad, and the critically acclaimed. More recently, we've seen this trend continue to grow. Characters like Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road and Rey in the new Star Wars trilogy have been celebrated for bringing depth, moral complexity, and emotional power to the screen. These are characters who resonate with both critics and audiences, not just because they're strong, but because they feel real. But not every attempt to spotlight female characters has hit the mark. Take the female-led Ghostbusters reboot. It faced a lot of criticism, not necessarily because it featured women, but because the script didn't quite do them justice. Or consider Captain Marvel. Some viewers felt she was too one-dimensional, lacking the emotional range needed to truly connect with audiences. These examples remind us that it's not enough to simply place a woman in the lead role. She needs to be a well-rounded, fully developed character for her story to truly resonate. Section 3. The impact on society and the genre. The rise of strong female protagonists isn't just changing sci-fi, it's influencing the way we think about gender roles in the real world. Look at characters like Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games or Jyn Erso from Rogue One. These women have become symbols of resistance, of standing up against injustice, and they've inspired movements far beyond the world of fiction. But it's not just the big blockbusters that are making a difference. Feminist science fiction, whether in books, films, or indie projects, has long been at the forefront of challenging societal norms. Authors like Ursula K. Le Guin, Octavia Butler, and Margaret Atwood have used the genre to explore deep issues of gender, race, and power. Their work has sparked important conversations, both within the sci-fi community and beyond. Section 4. The critical and audience response to the trend. Critics have had a lot to say about the rise of female characters in science fiction. On one hand, films like Mad Max Fury Road and Wonder Woman have been celebrated for their strong, nuanced female leads. These movies were seen as refreshing, bringing new energy and perspectives to well-trodden narratives. But there's also been some pushback. Some critics argue that in the rush to diversify, certain films have fallen into the trap of tokenism, where female characters feel more like a checkbox than fully fleshed-out individuals. And audiences? They're divided too. While many are thrilled to see more women in leading roles, others feel that some portrayals are overly political or not executed as well as they could be. It's a reminder that representation is crucial, but it has to be done right. Section 5. New transformations and the future of the trend. Looking ahead, the trend of strong female characters in sci-fi is continuing to evolve. We're seeing more diversity, not just in terms of gender, but in race, sexuality, and cultural background. Characters like Michaela Coel's scientist in Black Mirror or Rosa Salazar's cyborg warrior in Alita Battle Angel are pushing the boundaries of what female characters can be. And it's not just on screen where the change is happening. Behind the camera, more women are taking on roles as writers, directors, and producers, bringing their own unique perspectives to the genre. This isn't just about representation, it's about reshaping the narratives that define the future of science fiction. And that's an exciting thing to watch unfold. Conclusion. In the end, the rise of female characters in science fiction is about more than just who gets to be the hero. It's about how we tell stories, how we see ourselves, and how we imagine the future. These characters, with all their strengths and flaws, challenge us to think differently. They remind us that the future is ours to shape, and that everyone has a role to play in it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the evolving role of female characters in sci-fi, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more in-depth discussions. And hey, who's your favorite female hero in sci-fi? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Join the conversation.